Hey, what is up? Welcome back to another video. So what up, you guys? Today is another Destiny 2 video, and I'm obsessed with this event, so I've been doing a lot of stuff for it. And after a really long time of constantly doing the Haunted Forest, I was able to get the Braytech Werewolf. So once I gather all the candies necessary and all the chocolate necessary, head back to the courtyard in the Lost City, and we're gonna go purchase the gun. An important thing to keep in mind is that you cannot purchase the gun right away with the candy that you have. That's why you need the chocolate. You have to unlock every mask available. So once you unlock all the masks, it gives you Master of Disguise. And after you go in and claim it, then you'll be able to unlock the weapon, or purchase it, I should say. And finally, we have everything necessary in order to purchase this gun. So, starts with a power level of 950, and you can also re-roll it, which we will be doing. Now, re-rolling, I initially thought it would re-roll the gun itself, but you'll see that it actually just gives you another gun that's re-rolled. It also starts maxed out, as you can see at the bottom. It's maxed out to 10, and the important takeaways for the perks would be the multi-clip, how it's mostly for stability and range with the perks you get. You can also, there's a nice little kill count at the end if you want to use Crucible, if you want to just do enemy kills. And then you also have a mod slot, which I chose to do anti-barrier rounds, because that's something that's really important to have in the Haunted Forest. And then I also, you know, was looking at the skins just to show it off a little bit. And I found this one, and I really liked it. It matched well with it. It didn't change it too much, but it just sort of put depth to it. Now we're going to be talking about the rerolls. So the perks that you get right away are good, but they're only good for certain things, which throughout this video you'll understand why I say it's only good for certain things, and you'll understand what it's good for. After unlocking the Braytech Werewolf, you'll have access to the rerolls, and the rerolls only cost 250 candy, some glimmer, and some legendary shards, which aren't a huge deal. Now, originally, I thought that it would re-roll to the first Braytech, but it doesn't. You get a whole new Braytech, so I currently, in my save, I have like 7 or 8 re-rolls. I didn't get the ones I wanted necessarily, but it does start at a lower tier weapon, and also the power level will be scaled down to your actual power level or your gear score, so you're not going to get the 950, you're going to get what is around your current score. You could also do this as many times as you want. Like I said, I have 6 or 7 in my vault. And we're going to check this again. I noticed some good perks that you can get for this. The quick draw, I don't really think is that necessary. I like to have a high magazine for this. And if there's a rate of fire one, I haven't seen that yet. But if there's a rate of fire, I would really like to have that as well. Now we're going to put this gun to the test, and we're going to do it in 4 stages. The first stage is going to be against single enemy targets. So I'm just going to go around the moon real quick, find some guys to kill, see how quick it kills them, see how the gun shoots, and the takeaways from it. The second test will be against multiple enemies, so the Haunted Forest is a good way of doing that. Then we're going to use Crucible, and then we're going to do both PvE and PvP, which the Gambit is a really good example of doing that. So I did some Gambit matches and just tested out this weapon. My first takeaways for this weapon is its range and accuracy being very high, but its damage being more moderate. So I'm able to shoot from distance, and I'm not having a lot of recoil. Its accuracy is great, range is great. The damage fall off is not too massive, but the damage overall is not the best. The feelings that I get with this gun is that it's more intended for precision and less intended for DPS, which I don't necessarily find to be a bad thing. It's just against bosses or things that you want to kill quick in the Haunted Forest. It won't work as well, but it's very good for taking down Guardians in PvP or taking down enemies from long range, hitting crits accurately, all that stuff. Now, if you haven't re-rolled or don't intend to re-roll this weapon, then you'll know that the multi-clip is on this weapon, which is one of the perks. How the multi-clip perk works is that, so you have in this gun 34 rounds in the clip, and depending on how many enemies you kill during that clip, so using the 34 rounds, once you reload, the next clip does that much more damage. For instance, if I kill 3 enemies, you'll do a bonus amount of damage in the next clip. If you kill 4, you'll do even more damage in the next clip. Now, even though this is a really useful perk, I don't find it to be insanely good with this gun, just because 34 rounds in a clip with this gun, where the gun's not doing a massive amount of damage, killing multiple enemies in one clip is not really something that happens often. That's why for my reroll, I'm looking for a higher magazine or a quick draw magazine, one of those two, as well as other perks that will combine really well with it. So right here, this is one of the situations I was able to kill 3 enemies before reloading, and once I reload, if you look at the left side, it has multi-clip. Now we're getting into the gun's forte, I should say, and where it really strives. So PvP, the reason this gun is so good is because Guardians in general don't have an insane amount of health. So DPS is not the most important thing against other Guardians. Stability, mobility, accuracy, range, those things are also really important, and this gun has all of them down. Regardless of what perks you have in your gun, this gun will shred people in PvP. You can use it from long range, even close range. It's really accurate, so you'll be able to hit headshots really easily. If they're jumping up in the air, they're pretty much dead right away. You also notice the gun has just about enough rounds to kill 3 to 4 Guardians without even having to reload. And if you put a perk with a larger clip, then you'll be able to kill the entire team easily without reloading at all. So after the first Crucible match, you can notice I got 30 kills, got the most on the team, got the most out of everyone. And this was actually my first game on this account, so that's why I'm the low rank. Now we are on to the last test, which is going to be Gambit. Now Gambit consists of both PvP and PvE, so the gun strives at one thing, and then it's mediocre at the other. So I did a lot of invading on the enemy team, and I also was able to do a decent amount of damage on the boss because I was hitting all crit from long range where he couldn't really reach me. In my team, it was set up so that I was going to be the invader the majority of the time. So when I went in, I would stay distant from them and shoot them when they were least expecting it, when their back was turned to me. This is the best way of killing all of them and being successful, also limiting the amount of boss damage they do. Now you'll notice that this guy on the rock has a sniper, and he should have the range advantage. But because his gun is also very good at range, he had to back off, and before I could finish killing him, my invasion was over, so I was sent back. So for the conclusion of what I think about this gun, I think it's a very fun gun to use in PvP, but on the other hand, I think it's lacking in DPS against bosses, so for the majority of the time, I will be using this for PvP only, and I'll be switching for another gun to do the Haunted Forest or fighting other bosses. Now to recap on the perks, I think there are very good perks for stability, mobility, range, all that stuff. I think the perks are also lacking in damage besides multi-clip, but then at the same time, because of the 34 rounds and you're clipping the weapon, the multi-clip is not really that effective anyway. So that's why I'm looking for rerolls on it. I think rerolls like the extended mag will be really good. There's also perks that make it so you do a little more damage and less stability, which is fine because this gun already has a lot of it. So overall, I think rerolling is definitely worth. Overall, I think this gun is very good. It may be lacking in some things, but it definitely strives in others. And that's pretty much all I have for today. If you enjoyed, then please hit the like button. Sub if you're not already subbed. Turn notification bell on if you want to see more of these videos in the future. Alright guys, that's all, and I'll see you next time. Peace.